Ungood, definitely ungood. But it seems Crazy-Hydra is doing a bit of scouting, perhaps? Yeah, it looks like he's just using that Overlord to scout what's happening and how many factories that Ssak has. He wants to know how many factories are there, just to know his unit composition for the ground. But another plague over the vultures. So got plague vultures running around. So they shouldn't last too long to any kind of static defense or anything like that. Haven't seen much static defense from Crazy-Hydra, though, especially as far as his 12 o'clock was concerned. That's been harassed a lot. Here come the Scourge, trying to get rid of the Valkyrie threat, because Crazy-Hydra doesn't want to have to worry about his Overlords 24/7, because, Valkyrie is extremely good at Overlord hunting. Very, very good. Take them down basically instantly, especially if you have a clump of Valkyries running around like that. It becomes a lot of still pumping mutas, resaturating the mutas, which means he's confident enough to think that he can take down the science vessels before they're that big of a threat. Plus, seeing the Valkyries means that a Valkyrie was pumped instead of a science vessel. So that's giving Crazy-Hydra a bit of information there, saying, well, he's committing the Valkyries instead of science vessels, so I can just keep up the muta harassment. As long as I take out those Valkyries, I'll be able to have the air advantage. So this is very interesting from both. Now, they both kind of tied up the game. Okay, this is a great game, actually, because now they're both just about tied as they're trying to go for the extra bases now. I saw that Crazy-Hydra is expanding at the 9 o'clock position, and Ssak is trying to move up to the 2 o'clock, I think. I think he's trying to go for that 2 o'clock. But look at that hatchery in red, barely protected at that 12 o'clock. And Hydra's moving up. Zergling's doing a bit of mine dragging in the middle, but so far the mines haven't been that big of an issue for Crazy-Hydra. Of course, he lost all those lurkers earlier in the game, but after that, they haven't really caused him too many problems, surprisingly. And there's a command center going to be taken down very swiftly by these mutas. There's another Dark Swarm near the 6 o'clock position, so I think that, yeah, there's another nice plague over all those tanks. Flash looking awfully excited about that, because that was an excellent plague over every single one of those tanks. Well, not every single one, about half of them. I tend to exaggerate. But still a bunch of Hydras running around. So this is a Hydra Lurker build, a very unusual version of it, with all these Scourge going around with the mutas and still in the air. But an excellent adaptation by Crazy-Hydra. Still got the 2 evolution chambers going for the ground upgrades. I see the +2 attack for the siege tanks, meaning all the ground units have the +2 attack. And yeah, Ssak is trying to get a nice position inside the middle. Trying to get to that middle, give himself a lot of maneuverability there, as he's defending his 3 o'clock base at the same time. Now, let's see, the muta's still in the air, still a threat. But luckily, Ssak does have, he is pumping Goliath. So the Goliath, along with the Valkyrie, should be enough to neutralize this muta threat. But mutas are definitely a threat now. They haven't been taken care of yet. There's still a lot of them in the air. They'll be able to snipe the tanks later if the Valkyrie can't do something about it. There come the mutas still flying around, looking for troops to snipe. Finding a clump of vultures. Going for the vultures. There's a Valkyrie sniped by the mutas. Oh, and irradiates! Radiate. The infected muta gets pulled out very quickly, though. But between the irradiate and the Valkyries, I just don't think these mutas are going to last that long. So it's an interesting tech switch, but yeah, I don't think they're going to last that much longer. Might be able to get a bit of additional harassment done, but after that point, I think they're going to fall pretty quickly. There come a lot of tanks still left in the middle of the map. There's a bit of harassment, muta harassment. Another Valkyrie in play. So he's just trying to utilize these Valkyries to the best of the visibility before they go down. Just about every muta is down now. I think there's about 1 left. Oh, another science vessel sniped by Crazy-Hydra. Both have been going toe-to-toe in this game. Yeah, the KT coach is kind of clapping there, because Crazy-Hydra has done an excellent job of staying toe-to-toe in this game. He's at 6 bases now, still over Ssak's 4. Ssak needs his 5th base soon if he wants to compete economically with Crazy-Hydra. I'm definitely going to need that soon. He does have still quite a few tanks in the middle, so it shouldn't be that big of a problem. As long as he protects the tanks, I think he'll be able to take down the, take his own 5th base soon. With the 6 bases going, 6 gas going, yeah, Crazy-Hydra is going to be quite a threat soon. And going to be able to pump ultras and God knows what else. No, and the Valkyrie taken down by Scourge, it seems, up in the air. 2 o'clock, still nothing at the 2 o'clock position. That's where Ssak was trying to expand earlier, but the command center got taken down swiftly. So he wasn't able to do anything about that. He's got to move out, take that 5th base soon. And that's pretty much the only place he can take it. I think he was experimenting with the middle, trying to find a nice place to position himself in the middle earlier, but I don't think he's going to be able to do that. It's just too exposed to surround attacks. Here comes, a bunch of overlords coming on top of these tanks. He's going to try to drop troops on top of the tanks, do some mind dragging and whatnot. Huge amount of troops coming in for Crazy-Hydra, just throwing troops in, dropping right on top of the tanks, meaning the tanks are going to splash themselves. I was just talking about the amount of tanks that Ssak had, which was his big advantage, but he just lost most of them. Just about all of his tanks went down in that big drop attack. I love it when Zerg players do that, drop on top of the tanks, because it doesn't happen nearly often enough. It works out great. It works much like a Zealot bomb. I mean, your troops don't last as long as a Zealot, but still, same idea. Okay, bunch of reinforcements. Tanks, where were these tanks in the middle? Still plenty of tanks left for Ssak, but just kind of running out of them because he has them kind of scattered out. He needs to group them all up into one big ball of death. Oh man, shouldn't have said ball. Ssak. More immature jokes. That's what I'm here for, folks. Be sure to tip your waitress. Okay, so vultures coming in. A bit more harassment. Ooh, dropping more on top of those tanks. This is the last of the tanks, I think. They're a bit more spread out this time. Instead of being in that, don't want to say ball, grouping of tanks earlier, there's another plague on top of the vultures. So the vulture's not going to be that much of a threat from this point on. Reach! Sorry, had to. And I think the plague caught about 4 of those tanks as well. So Crazy-Hydra's been doing a great job with the plagues and everything, and now he's above Ssak in population. Crazily enough, Crazy-Hydra-ly enough. So, yeah, some more lurkers being morphed, going back to Reach. Yeah, because Reach is retiring after this series, so that's why they've been focusing on him quite a bit today. Well deserved. Reach legendary Protoss player. But let's get back into this game, shall we? Some more Defilers being pumped, I saw, by Crazy-Hydra. And Crazy-Hydra's army is pretty crazy. I didn't mean for that to be a pun. A lot of unintentional puns in this game, I think. But the lurkers on the high ground, ridges on the part of that swastika. I know it's not a swastika. It's kind of a backwards one. I know it's an Asian symbol. And there's the science vessels trying to get off some irradiate on those lurkers, just trying to soften them up. This could be a huge pincer attack. I see troops at the top and the left. Look at all these troops from Crazy-Hydra. He's going to go Sauron Zerg soon. Just pump non-stop reinforcements. And that's when you know you're in trouble. When a Zerg player can get this many troops out, oh boy. This is going to be a huge attack. It's just a matter of when. I think he's trying to pick up some troops to drop on top of the tanks again. Yeah, he's moving out with the Overlords, trying to find a good position to do this. But, yeah, he might be going actually for a Doom Drop scenario of sorts. He's just moving out, could possibly go for some harassment. Look at all these freaking Zerg troops. Luckily that was scanned by Ssak, so at least he knows what's coming. He knows where all the Overlords are, and he sees that big grouping of army in the middle. He knows where that stuff is, so he's going to be prepared for this attack, no matter what happens. But yeah, just look at all these troops from Crazy-Hydra, and the middle base trying to come up. Ssak is trying to get that middle base up. He knows he wasn't able to take that 2 o'clock. So he's saying, okay, I'm going to give up on the 2 o'clock. I'm going to try to protect this very exposed middle. It's going to be tough to protect this. He has to get basically all of his tanks to the middle. Looks like he has a pretty nice line of tanks so far to the northern side of that middle. The mines dragging into the lurkers. The mines finally doing Ssak some good here, but now Ssak and the Dark Swarm on top of all of the tanks. Here comes Crazy-Hydra again. He has all of his overlords filled with troops. He's going to drop on top of this brand new base. So many science vessels have gone down in this game as well. Very much keeping up his Scourge production. Dropping on top of everything in the middle, and this middle base is going to die unless he lifts it off somewhere. But the middle base basically gone, and Ssak is in big trouble now. He is running out of resources, running out of mining. I'm pretty sure his natural expansion's already mined out. While Crazy-Hydra has taken the 2 o'clock base for himself, so he's just expanding everywhere, spreading the creep. Like a good Zerg player. But here comes the Zerg players. Oh, huge mine drag. That's it. GG. Ssak ran out of troops. Excellently done. And that was actually a major comeback because he was about half the population of Ssak earlier in the game. All the games have been so good today. Let's move on to set 5, and let's hope it's just as good as this one.